so extra.
Hello my beauties, thank you so much for watching. If it's your first time here, my name is Pheladi and I hope you guys are all still doing well. In today's makeup tutorial, I'm going to start off by priming my face using my NYX Studio Perfect Photo Loving Primer. I will be using both of these NYX foundations today. One is the Born to Glow one in the shade Deep Sable, and the other one is the Can't Stop Won't Stop one in the shade Sienna. You know, beauties, I used to think that this Born to Glow foundation was my perfect shade until I had my chemical peel, and now it seems like I'm actually covering my real skin tone. Of course, that's what foundation does, but ever since the chemical peel, it seems a bit lighter, whereas before the chemical peel, it seemed a bit darker. Anyway, that's just my trail of thought as I'm applying this foundation. I'll go in and blend with the beauty blender just to make sure that the foundation is well blended into my skin and that there aren't any harsh lines left behind by the brush. For an even more matte look, I'm setting this foundation using my Yardley loose powder in the shade Cappuccino. If you don't like a matte look, you don't have to set your foundation. You can just leave it do like that. But if you have oily skin and you don't like a matte look, you might have to set your foundation because you still want to have your face beat on in 3 hours time. Am I right? So please, even if you don't like a matte look, just lightly go over it with a powder. Otherwise, mix your foundation with your loose powder or apply a thin layer of translucent powder on top of your primer to have long-lasting foundation, long-lasting makeup. To contour, I've applied my Makeup Revolution foundation stick in the shade F18.
I'm under pressure. Okay, I'm admitting that a couple things I said got acidic in the tone, in the presence I get careless. Long as you know I come with imperfections. When you look at me, you see the soul through my flesh. You something special.
To highlight and conceal, I used my Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Foundation in the shade F13, and I mixed it in with my LA Girl Pro Conceal in the shade Toffee.
When nobody's stressing that body like me, I know the way you like it. I treat you like a
I'm going to take my foundation brush and just pat the outer edges of this concealer so that there aren't any harsh lines of demarcation. You want everything to blend beautifully into each other and seamlessly. Not there's a line there, there's a line here. No. For blush, I will be going in with my Scarlett liquid lipstick. It looks like this, guys. I think you know Scarlett Matte Lippies. It's this one and it's the red one. I'm going to go in one side at a time because it is a matte lippie and I don't want it to become too hard to blend if I leave it too long while doing the other side. I thought I wasn't going to go any brighter, but I decided to further highlight my under eye, the bridge of my nose, and these two areas as well, using my Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer in the shade C10. Using my sorbet powder to use translucent powder to set this concealer. Now I'm just going to pat it into the concealer until it disappears. But let's not let it disappear completely because we're still going to be doing eyes in a minute. To mattify the area where I have my contour, I'm going to go on in with my Maybelline Fit Me Pressed Powder. This one is in the shade Espresso. Then I'm going to take what is on the brush and I'm just going to sweep it on the sides of my nose, just to make sure that contour is a bit more pronounced than it was.
Now we are so random. You bring the darkness to the light, split the atom. I ignore the fact.
Boo! Enough for eyes. Enough for eyes. I've decided to come a bit closer so you can see everything that's going on. Right now I am priming my lid space using my Makeup Revolution Prime and Lock eyeshadow primer. So do you beauty see why I like to use this eyeshadow primer even though I've got a bit of concealer on my lid space? It's because it dries down clear, and unlike the concealer by itself, it really just makes your eyeshadow pop even more than if it were just the concealer. So that is why I double up my products. So for today's eye look, I will be playing in my NYX Ultimate Phoenix palette, and the first shade I will be picking up is this one right here, and I'm going to blend it in and around my crease area using my base shadow brush by Real Techniques.
I don't really care, 'cause I just like it here.
Transition this red shade, I'm going to go back into the palette. This time I'm going to take this orange shade right here on my Zoeva 231 brush, and I'm just going to apply it in buffing motions all around the edges of where I blended out that red shade. Now I'm going to go back into the palette, and this time I'm going to take this shade right here on this smaller blending brush. It's actually my Zoeva 230 brush. I'm just going to pop it directly into my crease, just to define the crease area and to add more depth into this eye look. I'm going to bring this shade onto my outer V area as well, because I've kind of neglected this area throughout the whole eyeshadow application. So I'm just going to drag the shade into the lower part of my eye on my outer V area. To cut my crease, I will be going in with my Makeup Revolution Cut Crease Canvas in the shade Create.
Want you to be my vice.
Now for the rest of my mobile lid, specifically for where I applied that cut crease canvas, I went into this singular eyeshadow by Essence. It's the Velvet collection and it's in the shade Smooth Caramel. Now I'm going to clean up around the cut crease with a black matte shade and a mixture of this one as well. So I'm going to trace with this one and I'm going to blend it out with this one using this very small detailing brush that I got from Yardley. To close off the outer part of my cut crease, I'm going to go back in the palette and I'm going to take this darkest red shade. You might want to add a touch of black into the mix and blend it out with the darkest red. I'm going to take that darkest red shade and I'm going to drag it onto my lower lash line. And with a tapered blending brush, I'm just going to touch into that first red shade that we used, and I'm going to blow this one out. For my wing, I will be using my Essence Liquid Ink Black Eyeliner. For lashes today, I will be wearing one of these that I got from You Made Dreams. To get rid of this reverse contour and to set the rest of my face, I'm going to go on in with my Yardley pressed powder in the shade Walnut. For lips, I'm going to go on in with my Signature matte lipstick. This one is in the shade Plum, and I'm going to overline my lips with the brown lip liner as soon as I'm done applying the lipstick. And for the innermost part of my lips, I will apply my Essence Stay Matte Liquid lipstick in the shade Duck Face. Okay, now my eyes match my lips. I really did not mean for that to happen, but my eyes gravitated towards these lippies today. Now to lock everything in and to get rid of all of these powders, I'm going to go on in with my Maybelline Lasting Fix Setting Spray. In a corner highlight, I'm going to go on into this highlighter quad and I'm going to take this white one right here. And now that you've made it here, my darling, kindly click on this tutorial to watch next, because you know the drill around here. If you enjoyed this beat, I know you're gonna absolutely love that one as well. And if you haven't already, my darling, please subscribe to my channel and show your girl some love. I will catch up with you beauties again in my next one. Bye.